I'm Tamara Stuchlak, and in this segment, we explore creativity through the artwork of Luba Sterlikova. Luba has a PhD in political science, has worked with the Academy of Science, Radio Moscow, the Russian movie industry, and has been a computer programmer. Luba's paintings have been described by art collectors as passion, dynamic colors, and romance. Luba, welcome to the show.
Thank you.
And tell us about your progression from the business world to being a full-time artist.
As you can see, it has been a very, very long road. So I started painting from childhood, but it was really like maybe every child does. I really, really loved it. But seriously, I started making art only when we moved to the United States, and that was about 17 years ago. And
You just had a passion inside you, and you knew that this was...
It's difficult to say if you know, because when a lot of people are asked, do you have inspiration, are you a creative person, they say no. They believe they don't have it, because if you don't look for it, you probably don't find it. So you may or may not know if you are a creative person, but you are, actually, everyone is. But in my case, I think there were just circumstances that led to that. A friend of ours was an artist at Atari, Shukashvili, he was Georgian, and he passed away. And I don't know, it just so happened that I felt that I must paint.
You were drawn to painting.
I was really drawn, though, as I said.
And how would you describe your style?
My style is more impressionistic, I would say, but there is no real category to that. It's something that I want to express at this particular moment, and honesty, I think that's my style. I want to be honest in my works, and I want to be very expressive, and I want my works to be dynamic and be bold and very delicate, sensual, and spiritual at the same time.
So is there a particular subject matter that you're looking into it and you then are, called to express an emotion? How does that creative process start for you?
Creative process is really, hard to explain. I think no one can guess. If people knew how it works, then everyone would be like a genius, a great artist. Everybody could be like Leonardo or Michelangelo, but it's not so. It's not the subject that I'm looking for. It's whatever really makes a deep impression on me. And whenever something makes a deep impression on me, that I've got a desire to put it on canvas. It can be anything. It can be music. I love classical music. And it can be travel, anything.
So what is your philosophy behind your artwork?
That's a difficult question, because a lot of volumes are written about philosophy and art, but I share a view of a French author, Françoise Sagan. She said, the job of art is to take reality by surprise.
I love that.
And that's what I'm trying to do. I want to share the inner beauty which is not met by eye. Usually people look at my works and say, oh, what is it? It's just really unusual. It's really, I never saw that. In this, you see something every day. And then
people would expect that you, Luba, would need to be a trained artist to produce this. So that is remarkable and encouraging in and of itself.
I don't have a formal training, fortunately or unfortunately, I don't know. But I do a lot of self-training. I work a lot. So maybe this is why I achieved something.
And in what manner do you work?
You mean like mediums, or?
Well, how do you've said that creativity requires hard work and determination. So does that mean in your day-to-day life you are scanning for being inspired, you're looking with an artist's eye, you're preparing for art shows? What's happening?
It's a process which has two ways. So one is a thinking process. You're constantly thinking about and define about your work and defining some details of a future work. You look around and something makes a deep impression on you. And then once all the factors come together, you're ready to paint. So you come to a blank canvas, and then you try to transform it from nothing to an emotional piece. So that's how it works.
So what's that first moment like when you put paint to canvas first?
It's exciting, it's scary, And
why is it scary?
because you don't know, will you be able actually to deliver? Will you be able actually to do what you have in your mind, in your, your mind eyes, if you can say so? But you really don't know. So this is why it's a little bit scary, but then you take baby steps, and then the painting kind of leads you, it gets hold of you, and then you're in a flow. So, and then it's orgasmic.
Well, your work has been called sensual and intimate. Talk about that.
For me, everything is in the eye of the beholder. So whatever people see in my works, that can be different, that can be interesting, and I think that art should be multidimensional. So whenever I do something like I do florals, I don't do like pretty flowers for the sake of flowers. So you can't beat a digital camera. So it's always better than you are. But if you see something that the camera cannot see, then it is already interesting. And I'm trying constantly to see the objects from interesting angles. And like I had a show of fruit and vegetables, actually.
And it was very controversial.
It was very controversial.
Why?
Because people saw it as very provocative. Some people said it was an insult on a womanhood. And
it was fruit and vegetables.
It was just fruit and vegetables. So, look, you just go to Safeway. That's where I got it. So this is where whenever I look at something, maybe I see it differently, and I'm trying to show it differently to people.
Well, and art collectors have commented on that about your work, that they're surprised that they can seemingly look at your artwork, whether it's florals or fruit, and see things that they've never seen before.
Yeah, I think it's one of the tasks. Just as Francois Sagan said, take nature by surprise. That's the job of art. So, if I succeeded, if people look at somebody's work and see my style, I hope I have style. Because
and what does that mean to you, style?
Style is to be recognizable. You shouldn't
different.
be different, very different,
distinct.
Very different, very distinct. So your art should be completely different from other artists. So if people look at the painting, they don't know who is the author. But when they look and say, oh, that one of Luba's, then I can say I've got a style. And that's actually a lifetime task, to develop style.
And is it okay to change that style over time?
Absolutely, absolutely. Because as people, we change. And as artists, you constantly change. You're looking for something. If you keep doing the same thing, you get bored, right? And boredom is the worst enemy of art. So if you're bored yourself, you can't really deliver an energy to your piece that will get hold of the viewer. So I think it's an important element. You have to change.
Are creative people naturally different? Is that what you found?
I don't think they're different, because everyone is a creative person. In old days, or if you look like at the classical description of a creative person, it was more like a person related to art, or like writer, artist, musician, composer. These days you can be a computer programmer and be a very creative person. So it's a different perspective. Plus, you really have to realize that you are a creative person. If you say, oh, I've never been creative and I never will be, so you put a mental block on creativity, you will never realize yourself. So you have to realize your uniqueness, and you have to have energy and freedom, inner freedom, to use it, to do something with it.
So what pushes your art? What is moving your art in new directions and inspiring you?
I just love it. I think art is a love affair. So if you love what you're doing, follow your heart. Yeah, it will lead you to new levels. And when we say about creativity, so people can say, oh, someone is like a genius. Yes, there are geniuses, and there are just us, normal creative people. So we can say about different levels of creativity. So.
And you've recently been honored and accepted into the Moscow Artists Union, into the poster section. Tell us a little bit about that.
That's a very interesting direction I'm working on now, because art of posters is really a combination, a fusion of intellectual and visual. So that's a completely new field, and I think my previous experience in different fields, like, you know, I was a researcher,
so
that really
you're
helps.
delivering a message in
It's a
addition
message.
to an emotion.
Exactly.
It's more complex.
It's more complex.
Project.
Yes, it's intellectual and visual. So, like, for example, I'm working on the posters that are dedicated to the breast cancer awareness. So that's one direction. So I do a lot of ballet posters because my husband, who is also my inspiration, he is a ballet master. So that kind
Renowned.
of... Yeah, he's a renowned ballet master, yes, so he's a celebrity in the family. So that kind of all helps me to, you know, to find my new subjects.
Well, Luba, we want to thank you for being with us. Your art is incredible. I know through our conversation that it's been shown behind us on the screen. And just to sum up, creativity is in all of us, and you have many inspirational points for our viewers to attach to, because you say yourself you're late to the art scene and so to speak, no technical training. So thank you for being with us.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
We enjoyed your creative perspective. Thank you.
Thank you.